Hello everyone, this is Noreen from Noreen Reads. Welcome to my channel where I review books that I've read, make recommendations, and hopefully inspire you, motivate you to read a little bit more. All right, let's get on to my review for today. So I have this planner. This is my temporary planner for my printed book covers that I've read. I've reviewed 6 last week, so I'm hoping to review 6 again today. So let's get on to it. The first book that I'd like to review is That Bonesetter Woman. It's historical fiction or adult fiction. I gave it 5 stars. It's an amazing book. I loved it. And I did the formatting that I used was audiobook. So in this book, I loved endurance, Dury Proudfoot's strength, tenacity, determination, and perseverance. She is an amazing character. The story is full of independent and incredibly strong women. And I found myself utterly engrossed from the beginning to end. I highly recommend it. Frances Quinn, because I enjoyed this book, I read another book that I will be reviewing in my next videos. The title of that book is The Smallest Man, and it's another amazing book that I read from her. She's just quite talented and skilled author, so I recommend it. 5 stars for that one. So the next book is Remarkably Bright Creatures. It's a literary fiction. It's 5 stars. I enjoyed it, loved it. It was also an audiobook format. It's a marvelous story. It's a story, delightful, about a caged giant Pacific octopus in an aquarium named Marcellus. So that's Marcellus right there. He's giant. He's a big octopus. He likes to leave his tank at night when the aquarium is empty and closed. So you could just imagine how he gets into all kinds of adventures and troubles. It is an engaging and delightful, sweet and captivating story. The other characters, the human characters, are well written as well. So it's not just all about Marcellus, although he's the main character. So one of the quotes that I like for this book, there's one that says, this is Marcellus talking. He said, "Humans, for the most part, you are dull and blundering, but occasionally you can be remarkably bright creatures." So that was Marcellus. You can tell how interesting this book is. So 5 stars. I loved it. I recommend it. So the next book would be Judy Picoult, Wish You Were Here. It's a fiction. I read it, physical format, physical book. 4 stars I gave it. It's a book about, it's a complex, insightful, thought-provoking book. Though fiction, the story actually happened during COVID-19. So I felt truly engaged with the characters. It is a wonderful tribute to the medical community and all the selfless sacrifices they made. They really are the true heroes during the pandemic. So it's touching, it's emotional, but perhaps a little bit too raw for someone who had lost friends and loved ones during the pandemic. So read with caution if you are not ready to go back and read about pandemic stories. So one of the quotes that I like in this book is what Jody said. She said to tell the tale of how the world shut down and why and what we learned. Very interesting. So 4 stars for that. So the next book is, look how beautiful that book cover is. It's fantasy mythology. It's Daughter of the Moon Goddess, with East Asian influence in there. It's 5 stars. And I read it in a physical book. So it's a beautiful written fantasy novel. The protagonist's name is Sing Yin, and she is strong, dedicated, honorable, and fiercely loyal. So it is an amazing story with lovely characters. If you like to delve further into the fantasy genre, or you're already a fan of said genre, this is a must read. I highly recommend. So 5 stars for this. What made me pick up the book in the first place was the cover. I like to look at the cover first and then read what it's all about and the reviews and everything, and see if it sounds interesting and worth the time to read a book. So with so many books, I'm a little bit picky. I want to make sure that so many books, that I'm spending my time in a book that I would enjoy. So at least 3 stars or so. But this one is a 5 star. One of the quotes that I like from this book, it says, "Titles are inherited. Talent may be blood bound, but true greatness lies within." And that's beautiful. I like that. So on to our 5th book. This book is from Alice Feeney. She is amazing writer of mystery thriller, domestic mystery thriller, some along that line. So I picked up this book, Rock, Paper, Scissors. I gave it 5 stars and I listened to it, audiobook format. So this is the kind of thriller that is an edge of your seat, fast-paced, hard to predict the outcome thriller. I usually like to guess, and I usually guess them correctly, but this one will keep you guessing until the very end, which is why I like this book. So it is full of twists and turns and an overall brilliant book. So in the story, there's a husband and wife. The husband has prosopagnosia, or face blindness, so he can't recognize others' faces, even his own, his wife's, other people's. So it really makes for an even more interesting storyline. So, and the setting is in a remote Scotland in the winter. You could see it's snowy, and there's a little place there where they stayed. So this story kept me guessing all the way to the end, and I recommend it. So one of the quotes that I like, it says, 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, and anniversary they will never forget. So there's beginning of the mystery, isn't it? I loved it. So all right, the last book of our 6 books that I'm reviewing today is from Nora Roberts. The title is The Becoming. This is the 2nd book of the trilogy, the Dragon Legacy series. So I will be reviewing the 1st and the 3rd. So this is the in-between of the 3 books in this series. It's 5 stars again. It's well written, loved it, enjoyed it. So it's a fantasy romance, there are dragons in there. I read this in a physical book format. I did try the audiobook version first, but it didn't work for me. I think mostly because the narrator had a strong, thick Scottish or Irish accent, and it was hard for me. Some words I'm not quite understanding the narrator with some words. So I'd figured, why not read the physical book? And it was amazing. So I loved it. I enjoyed the book thoroughly. The characters, great character developments, most of whom were very likable. Didn't like the villains so much, which is the case with me usually. But even then, the villains add a great contrast and depth to this wonderful book, so I really like it. The whole series is wonderful, and this is the middle of the book. Stay tuned for the next, for the 2 books in this series. So there's so many quotes in this book, but one that I picked that I really like was, it said, your gift, your power comes from your heart and your belly as much as your mind. Your belly holds the anger, your heart the compassion, your mind the will. So beautiful. So okay, so that's about the 6 books that I'm reviewing today. So if you'd like to see me put the stickers and the ratings like I did with the previous books. Here, my sticker ratings came, star ratings came, and I was able to put color it up, darken it up, and put the how many ratings, the format, the genre, and the quotations. I don't have much room, but I was able to do it. So this I will be putting in my reading books journal when my cover comes for it. So right now I'm just keeping it like this, but hop on over to Noreen Plans if you would like to see how I put the ratings here. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here, and hopefully this will motivate you, inspire you to pick up a book, one of the books I recommended, or pick up a book, start reading. It's an amazing hobby to have. I loved reading ever since I was young, and hopefully you will enjoy a book. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time in my next video. Bye bye.